I created a workout video today. It was a video of my own personal workout today, and I'm just repeating the same word over and over. Hey, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. If you're looking for some inspiration or some new things to try, or just a different way to think about the same exercise that you do over and over and over again, here are some of the things that I do, some of the cues that I use, some of the priming that I do to really help engage my muscle to think about the mind-muscle connection even like that much stronger, and hopefully challenge you to do something that is just more in line with your goals and pushing you forward. First of all, in real life, in life right now, it's happening. Today is Monday, and Mondays can be a bit of a challenge. For me personally, sometimes Mondays are like the most demotivating days of the week, and as the week goes on, I get more and more excited and focused, and then all of a sudden it's Friday, and then the weekend hits. But the weekends can sort of like slow me down and get me out of the usual focused mode that I am around my goals and the different things that I'm trying to achieve in the gym and in my work and in life. And sometimes Mondays can be a bit of a downer. Today is super rainy in New York, and sometimes the weather can affect how we feel also. But something that shifts me out of that I don't feel like it mode, or I'm tired mode, or it's Monday mode, is recommitting, I should say remembering, reconnecting is a good word, reconnecting to what I committed to back when I first committed to it and I was excited and motivated and totally inspired to do it, which may have been yesterday and it may also have been 5 weeks ago, right? It's just kind of how it works. I really love that quote. Commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do way after the mood that you had set it in had left you. And that just shows that commitment goes beyond feeling. It goes beyond what you want to do right now. It's at the top of the pyramid, if you will. And it drives whatever you're doing way harder than what you say you want, what you say you feel like doing, what you say you'll try to do. It's even a stronger like term, I feel, than saying I'm gonna try and work out, or I'm gonna try and do this, or I'm gonna try and work on my glutes a little bit more. It's no, I'm committed to building my glutes, or I'm committed to getting into the gym tomorrow, Monday. So using that word commitment in that way, I think, can really push you and challenge you and get you to do the things that you truly need to do to move forward and get towards whatever goals you're working on. And yeah, so if you're kind of feeling, I'm not sure if I can make it today, or it's just gonna be, you know, it's the end of a really long day of work and you were hype and focused on going to the gym, you know, at the beginning of the day, and now it's towards the end and you're not so sure, just move past it. Once you get there and start doing what you need to do, you'll be in it and you'll stay focused and you'll keep going and you'll finish. And who knows, you might even have the best workout that you could have ever planned on, or even better than you could have planned on. So that's just my little spiel today. I hope that this workout that you're about to watch inspires you. This workout is a glute focused workout, but we do hit back, we do hit triceps and abs. Adding some resistance bands, changing up the order of some things, and really just shaking up what my body is adapted to, while still continuing to challenge and strengthen myself. This workout's a hypertrophy style workout. The rep range is pretty much like 10 to 15 reps, more or less, for each exercise. It's awesome. The lactic acid burn is real, and I know it's gonna be tough, but you're strong, you're badass, and you're gonna get through it. And that's it. If you have any questions or want me to create a video or an exercise video on like a certain movement, just comment it down below. I'll see you on the other side. Cool. So the first two combinations of exercises we're doing are tough, but it's all good. You're gonna get through it. Here, I'm doing pause squats. For this, you're gonna squat down just like you normally would. You can see I have stoppers, bam. I wanna get to zero momentum at the bottom of the squat because I am working hard on the lift from the bottom up. The stoppers are a little bit higher than my natural squat goes, mostly because I'm doing higher rep range than normal and I'm using a pretty challenging weight for me. This is about 80% of my 1 rep max. Keep in mind, I always show you my final sets. So they're my toughest. I have the most weight on the bar, but I don't put this much weight on my initial set. I'm working up to this weight. I did 5 sets of this exercise. So you really want to drive your knees out on this. You really want to push through the heels of your feet and keep your core super, super tight. It is tough. You are doing 5 sets of 10. Your superset to this exercise is a curtsy lunge. This is something that I haven't done in a really long time, but since I'm focusing more on my glutes today, this is what we're doing. So this is one angle. I'm going to show you a better angle in a second, but basically you are taking a diagonal step behind yourself and you are getting a big, big, big stretch in your glutes of the front leg, and you're using no momentum, but driving up hard through the glute of the leg that's in front, your working leg. So here's a behind section, and again, this is my final set, so this is tough, especially when it's superset with those squats. You want to drive your knee of the front leg out slightly, never have it caving in, and you are squeezing your glute from the bottom of this exercise up to the top. My weight is light enough that I can do 12 reps on each side of this, so it's definitely a cardiovascular challenging exercise, but my glutes and my legs are definitely feeling it. The lactic acid burn is legit. Now, this exercise does bother my lower back, so I do a really good hamstring quad stretch at the end of it that helps release some tension. My hip flexors, not hamstring, hip flexors. My hip flexors get really, really tight in general and causes low back pain. I have a video on a lot of dynamic and mobility work that I do to help with this in my previous YouTube videos, but here I'm just really stretching out my hip flexors and my quads. I reach my arm up because it gets me a deeper hip flexor stretch up into my abs. It feels really good and releases any tension that I have. The next superset we're doing is a glute thruster and a deadlift. The glute thruster is definitely the focus on the glutes, and you can see I wrapped a black band around my quads because we're going to be doing a glute thruster and then an abductor movement in this. So I'm rolling my bar up onto my hips. I have my mat to protect my hip bones, and I'm going to lift. For these, you want to dip your hips down as low as you can without hitting the ground because you do want the biggest stretch in your glutes at the bottom. I drive through my heels, and I'm constantly driving my knees out externally. I am engaging my glutes from the bottom of this movement up, and here at the top I'm doing 8 reps of an external pulse, so an abductor pulse, pushing my knees out. Then I'm going right back in and doing another set of 8 glute thrusters and then 8 external pulses or 8 abductor movements, and you're going to going back in for my second round of hip thrusters, glute thrusters. This is painful. The lactic acid buildup is real. Just let that lactic acid fuel this workout. You can actually use it for a little bit of energy, so just breathe through it. You're going to see the expression on my face. It burns. It's painful. All that blood is pumping into your glutes. Just keep breathing. You're strong. You can do this. So the superset for this is a deadlift. Take my shoes off for my deadlifts. I want to get a lot of contact with the floor, with my feet. I want to use my entire foot to really push this weight up. This is very light. but I don't go heavy on my deadlifts because I injured my wrist recently and I am just getting back into it. I'm doing a set of 10 here, really focusing on form. I drive my lats down hard as if I'm doing a pull-up when I do my deadlifts. I keep my abs engaged. I thrust my hips forward, and I'm basically just doing this for some more posterior activation of my back, my glutes, my shoulders, my hamstrings. And of course, you have to give your barbell a big kick when you're done with deadlifts because that's how you should feel at the end of your set. Next, we're moving away from glutes and working on lats. I'm doing a slightly bent arm lat pull down, okay? For this exercise, you are moving through your shoulder joint and driving your lats down towards your hips. You can see I'm not only pushing down, but I push slightly back, especially at the end of the movement. It just allows me to engage my lats a little bit more than a regular straight lat pull down. Experiment and play around with this and find the best engagement for you. Again, this is my last set, so I'm having some trouble getting through my last couple of reps. But keep your breath and exhale as you pull down. Really squeeze and tighten through your lats. Pretend like you're driving your lats down towards your hips. That helps me a lot. The superset for this is a lat pull down, but I'm doing something that I have just started doing recently, which is scapular and lat retractions in a clockwise and a counterclockwise motion, or an external and an internal motion. I love this because it really allows my lats and scapular to activate, for my brain to get connected to those muscles. I used to have a really hard time with lat pull downs and pull-ups engaging my lats, and my arms would just take over. My biceps would be sore the next day. My back would just be blah. So I personally have a really hard time building muscle posteriorly, and I do anything I can to prime my back before a back workout. So I really drive my lats down hard, and then I follow it with the arm bend and the pull of the bar to my chest. Last superset is a Tricep Skullcrusher. There's two modifications I'm doing to this because my right wrist is still recovering and I don't have good wrist flexibility in it. It causes me a lot of pain. So I'm doing these with a hammer grip, and I'm doing them with relatively lightweight. Those are 10 pounds in each hand. But this workout gets real fun, real fast, and when I say fun, I mean painful. So hammer grip position, bringing the weights down on the sides of my head so I get a really intense tricep stretch at the bottom. I'm doing 10 reps, and then what I'm doing is holding on the 10th rep for about 20 seconds. So my triceps are extremely stretched. Gravity is just doing its job. I'm not resting here. There's an active stretch happening. It pumps a lot of blood into the muscle. The lactic acid buildup is legit, and I'm going right into a second set of 10 here. This is my final set, so the lactic acid buildup is real. It burns. I'm really concentrating using my breath. As you can see, it looks like I'm almost moving in slow motion, but I am still able to do the reps without that much momentum, or I'm not even close to failure. It just really hurts. So pick a weight that allows you to get to this point. Drive, drive, drive. Use your breath. You are stronger than this pain. It is only temporary. You can do it. Yes, done. And my superset for this is a decline bench, I want to say ab slip. It's going to focus on your obliques. I call it a slip because it's similar to like what you do in boxing. Really important to keep your lower back and hips in a posterior tilt. You do not want your back arching during this. You need to keep your lower back full and pushing down into the bench or towards the floor the entire time. You are creating a U shape with this, so you're reaching to the left, coming down almost like in a circle at the bottom of a U, and then coming around and reaching towards the right. Coming down, reaching towards the left, coming down, reaching towards the right. Modification, keeping your hands down right at your chest is going to be easier. Raising your arms above your head when your body goes down is going to make this more difficult because there's more weight that you need to swing around. Do what your level is. Give it a try. The most important thing is the back position. Create a less of an incline, or excuse me, a less of a decline if you find that your lower back is not staying in a neutral or posterior tilt position in your hips. So that is the workout. If you have just completed it, awesome, go you, you're a rock star. And if you're about to step into the gym after watching this video and now you have some ideas to implement into your workout, kill it. Just kick your ass. This is gonna feel, literally, this is gonna feel so good. My booty pump was insane. I was like limping through the gym because my butt kept cramping. And it's not a bad thing. It's intense. So choose weight that's appropriate for you, for the rep scheme that I give. And if you are beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever, just be smart about your form, be smart about the weight that you choose, and if, just to anyone who is more of a beginner out there, look at this more as practicing the movements over and over and over again, so you don't have to worry so much about like finding the weight that's just the heaviest for you for that rep scheme, but use it to experiment, use it to practice, use it to get your mind connecting better to your body and that muscle group that you're engaging, and try out some of the priming moves that I give. All right, that's all I got. So have an amazing, amazing day, and I will see you in the next video.